Ambassador Nofal, thank you very much. We're honored to have you. For starters, just tell us, you are here as the Palestinian ambassador. Just tell us who exactly do you represent?
All the Palestinian people, Palestinian leadership, Palestinian resistance. I represent PLO in general. Therefore, I represent all the Palestinian people and all the Palestinian cause and any Palestinian everywhere. I represent everybody here.
Okay, how does Hamas fit into the picture?
I think if you are watching the media very well, more than 3 months we have a unity government and we have reconciliation. And if you watch the media very well also, during the Israeli aggression on Gaza, all the Palestinians stand together. We have a united delegation in Cairo. During 1 month, they spent 1 month in negotiation in Cairo with the Israeli side, with intermediation with Egypt, as a unity, represent all the Palestinian resistance. Fatah, Hamas, Al-Jihad, National Front, everybody there. Therefore, I tell you also that there is no more split in Palestine. There is a unity government. I mean, there's some problem left and right. That's happened everywhere. But, I mean, we decided to reach our rights through the unity government, through the long-lasting reconciliation.
Okay, now from your point of view, what is wrong? What should happen now?
Let's speak, I mean, different things. What happened in Gaza, what the negotiation in Cairo. And in Gaza, you know, I think you are watching the media very well. It is a massacre in Gaza. It is not, we are a Palestinian speak about that. United Nations reports, UNICEF, UNDP, UNIDO, they said that Gaza become unviable area. There is no water, no electricity, no infrastructure. There's more than 600,000 Palestinians has been displaced their homes. There is no place to go where. Therefore, we believe Gaza need now very emergency humanitarian aid. And I am sure that we are in communication with the United Nations to arrange very soon, if it's possible, which we call the airlift, humanitarian airlift to Gaza. And next month, also, there is a donors meeting will be held in Cairo. Up to now, there is around about 80 countries willing to participate in that. And we're sure that the international community should come to meet the needs of Palestinian people to rebuild Gaza again. And we hope in this meeting, this conference, the commitment will be enough to rebuild Gaza again. According to our first statistics, that Gaza needs between $6 to $8 billion. Because the damage has been very high. And we believe that the Arab countries, international community, they will meet our needs to rebuild Gaza again, inshallah.
Ambassador, let me play devil's advocate. Israel says that it is attacking Gaza because of the rockets fired from, from Gaza onto their. I mean, what do you say about that?
It is not true, you know. In fact, there is a rocket from Gaza because, you know, simply they attack Gaza, they damage Gaza, they did in Gaza the things it couldn't happen anyway. You know, every day they bombed Gaza with at least 20 tons of bombs each day during the 57 days in Gaza. It's very difficult. And I think in the reiteration process, there's some rocket, but I will give you the right map. The strong army at the area, which they called the strongest army, the 5 strongest army all over the world, Israeli army, they killed the civilian. They killed 2,200 civilians. And the Palestinian resistance, Hamas and other, they killed 72 Israeli soldiers. The biggest army, they killed the civilian, and the weak side, they killed the soldiers, which means it will give you the right map, what's happened. I mean,
okay.
only four Israeli civilian, only 4 Israeli civilian has been killed during the 57 days.
Okay, but I have to ask you this because that's the other side of the coin, as the Israelis say. They say that the people in Hamas, who fire the rockets, they position these rockets near houses, near hospitals, etc. So if the Israelis strike back, then there will be collateral damage.
It is simply like, I will give you the map because I know very well. I participate in the only negotiation with the side. I know them very well. The Israeli withdrawal from Gaza since 2005. In Gaza, there is no Israeli soldiers. There is no Israeli settlements. There is no any Israeli activities in Gaza, within Gaza. Why they put a siege on Gaza? Simple question. Why they put a siege in Gaza? From the day one, from 2005, I participate, which we call disengagement program, where the Israeli side left Gaza. There's nothing, any deal for the Israeli with Gaza. Why they put a siege in Gaza? They control the water, the electricity, the food, the medicine, the education, the air, everything. Why? We don't know. There is 5 crossing points. All this crossing point has been managed by Israeli army. They control everything. Why? It's a simple question. But I mean, in the reiteration process, when they started to attack Gaza, and I told you before that when they started, Hamas and some Palestinian resistance trying to reiterate, to send some rockets, some tunnels, Why the tunnels in Gaza? Because it's a closed area. The people try to find a way how to bring the water, how to bring the medicine, how to do something. If there is open, why they should need the tunnels? Nobody needs the tunnels in the normal situation. Why there is no tunnels before? But because of the siege, the people try to find a way how to open new gates for them to live.
Yeah, but Israel says the tunnels are used to bring in weapons and armory to fight Israel.
It's later on, but in the aggression. But before, the tunnels has been to facilitate coming the medicine, the food from Egypt. Simply has been designed with Egypt to bring the food, the other things. And then when the Israeli, because there are 3 wars in Gaza, 2008, 2012, and 2014. Because of the war in Gaza, they're starting to find a way how to defend themselves. Simply. And I mean, to simplify this issue, as I mentioned before, Netanyahu, he asked Mahmoud Abbas, I am going to attack Gaza, but within condition, to put an end for reconciliation with Hamas, and to put an end for the unity government. And Mahmoud Abbas refused. Therefore, they attacked Gaza.
Does Mahmoud Abbas still say that Israel has a right to exist as a country?
We are.
Okay, the next
Officially, we are recognized Israel within the border of within as it is as a state. All the Palestinians agree or not agree. Politically, we agreed. We accept Israel as it is. But in the meantime, we need Israel also to accept our rights to live, to recognize the right of Palestinian people within the border of 67, with East Jerusalem as its capital, and to put an end for the problem of refugees. It's not me who are speaking, not Mahmoud Abbas. The United Nations resolution speak about that. Yeah. The Americans speak about that. All the international community, the European, they live with that. I know Tony Blair personally. I know a lot of European special envoys to the area. They know very well what's going on. They recognize Israel as it is now, but within the border of 67, with East Jerusalem, it is a Palestinian land. European, they recognize, even the American. And up to now, the American refuse to send to open their embassy in Jerusalem because they didn't recognize that.
Okay, but now how does one then handle Hamas's statement or standpoint that Israel should be taken off the map?
No, it's not true.
No.
It's not true. Hamas, from the day one, after the election, they give the authority to President Mahmoud Abbas to continue negotiation, and they have an official statement that they don't want to make a negotiation with Israel, but in the meantime, they recognize the right of the Palestinian people with their independent state at the border of 67, with East Jerusalem as its capital. The statement was, and by the way, a few days ago, Mashal from Doha announced that. It is the Israeli slogans that Hamas refused, but in reality, all the Palestinian, the majority of Palestinian, all the Palestinian institutions, we accept Israel as it is, with 78% of all historical Palestine, and the rest of 22, we need this 22. This 22, including East Jerusalem as its capital, to try to refugees to return back to the Palestinian states, and this state will be free of the settlers. There should be no more settlers in the Palestinian state. Now the big challenge is now in the West Bank, not in Gaza. Gaza is a massacre, it's a damage. But in reality, the big problem in the West Bank, with Jerusalem, where is more than 600,000 Israeli settlers, where is the confiscation of land daily. Therefore, now the big change now has happened. Yesterday, Dr. Sabi Arikat and the head of Palestinian Intelligence Service met Kerry in Washington, and our message was the following, that we should have a framework from the American where they recognize the right of Palestinian in their independent state. Israel should be recognized.
Yeah, there should be an Israeli state and,
sure.
and a Palestinian
Absolutely, within 4 months, and to have framework to make a program when the Israeli army will be withdrawn from the West Bank. Otherwise, we are going to the Security Council as a member state. 2012, all the international community voted for Palestine as a non-member state. More than 138 countries voted for Palestine, and we're asking for the international protection.